you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
It's great to have you back in Texas.
Thank you, Laura.
Do you want to tell everyone a little bit about where you have been? I'm very excited for you and all of your adventures that you have been on the last year.
You're very sweet. So for those who don't know me,
Yes.
I've been a Texas Capitol staffer for a long time, worked in both chambers, both parties, and then most recently as Director of Government Affairs for Texas 2036.
Yeah.
And just recently in May, graduated with my master's from Harvard Kennedy School and just moved to DC this summer, July.
Amazing. Well, congratulations again.
Thank you.
Yeah, your resume is incredible.
Too kind.
And what are you doing up in DC now?
I'm working with a political startup as their chief of staff.
Very cool. Okay, tell me more. What is the company? What's the group? What are you doing?
It's still very new, so there's not a lot to share yet, but it really is hoping to focus on bipartisanship and ensure that while there's sometimes some narratives that we're more divided than I think that we actually are as America, how can we reunify people and focus on the great work that Americans do?
I love that. And I think there's so many more groups that need to be doing focus on that. I actually worked at No Labels when I was in DC.
Yes.
You know, so I did work on the Problem Solvers Caucus for specifically women's initiative. So I was meeting with a lot of female investors.
I love that.
But yeah, it's great work. And it's also challenging, you know, whenever there's something in the media that happens. What's kind of your role there?
Chief of staff.
Okay.
So still pretty new, but excited to be in DC. Exciting time to be there.
And so you're back in Texas. What are you doing back here?
I'm here for the week, mostly because we have the Pink Granite Foundation party this evening.
I'm very excited.
By the time you're listening to this, it will have already happened.
Yes.
But we're very excited. This is our 5th year of existence.
Cool.
And we've had a party pretty much the entire time.
I love that.
This year, we're going to be honoring 3 different women, 3 awards. The first is our Rising Star.
Okay.
So someone who's a little bit earlier in their career, but still doing great things.
Sure.
I think they have a lot more to contribute. That this year is Ashley Myers, who
awesome.
is Texas Water Company's executive director.
Yeah.
Formerly or maybe currently also Whitmire Munoz.
Mm-hmm.
Then we have Legacy. So a person who's had their career here for a while, who's done a lot of mentorship and a lot of great things for the Texas Capitol. This year, it is Lisa Craven.
Awesome.
Longtime Texas comptroller, staffer. And lastly, our mentor of the year. So we'll talk a little bit more about mentorship today, but that's the only one our mentors get to nominate. Our mentees get to nominate their mentors. So we had a lot of great choices this year and very excited to be honoring Carol McGarrett at Blackridge.
Amazing.
And her mentee had the nicest things to say, and I hope that you all get to hear.
How adorable. Well, I love that. And women lifting each other up is amazing. We actually just started, I don't know if you saw the Best in Government Relations for Texas.
I'm so excited to see how that goes.
I'm so excited. We've had so many amazing nominations.
Good.
And it's not going to be one winner. It will be more of like a group, kind of like a 40 under 40 list type. So it's not like a rank order, but we've had an amazing like group of women get nominated. And it's also beautiful to see what people say about each other. So
that's
really
my favorite part
cute.
of the process is seeing how people uplift each other.
Yes, I love that. So for those not familiar with Pink Granite,
maybe we should start there.
Tell everyone more. And I have so many questions for you, but for all intents and purposes, tell us more about Pink Granite.
So Pink Granite Foundation started in 2020, and it's designed to empower, connect, and create community for women within and around the Texas Capitol. And we're very proud of the networking and mentorship opportunities that we've provided, both for new women coming into the space, but also established women who've been working here a long time.
Amazing. And so what kind of instigated all of that, and how did you get involved?
So Amy Whited, when she moved here, she didn't know anybody and was really looking for kind of a home, hub of resources, a place to connect. And so she started Pink Granite, and at the time it was a podcast and a series of networking events. And she asked her connections, does anyone know how to help me throw a networking event in Texas? I reached out. That's how we became friends. So I helped her throw some events over the years. And then 2020 hit, which, gave us a little bit more time to think about things, think about how we would like to see Pink Granite grow. And we decided that we wanted to turn it into a foundation, mostly because we really wanted to start a mentorship program, and a nonprofit seemed like the best place to do that under. I brought in Jo Cassandra Cuevas, and she's a long-term lobbyist around here who has been on a million boards and gave us a lot of great advice on how to get started. And the three of us decided 2020, we started the Pink Granite Foundation.
That's amazing. And I know there's a lot of Texas folks on the Hill. So are you connecting a lot? Are you going to be doing a little bit of that in DC too?
I would love that to happen. We're not quite there growth-wise.
Sure.
It's something we have on the horizon.
That's amazing. I mean, there's just so much opportunity with this type of thing. And especially when it's a nonprofit, people they want connection. And 2020, that's an interesting time to have started it. Was that one of the reasons? I'm sure moving here in 2020 was rough. I did 2021 and
they had gotten started, I think, in 2018, I want to say, a couple years before when Amy moved here from North Carolina. I had been here, my first year in the Texas capital was 2012. So I'd been around for a little while. Cool. And when I moved here, or not moved here, when I got into Texas politics, I was an intern. I was a student at UT, and I didn't know anybody. And not knowing where to start, not knowing necessarily where all your resources are, you rely on other people to teach you those things.
Sure.
And I was so lucky to have folks who pointed me in the right direction and helped me get that next job and the skills I needed to get that next job. But not everyone's so lucky or knows where to start.
Sure.
I wanted to make sure that we had some sort of program or some sort of hub for women around the Capitol to get their foot in the door, to keep growing, to have that community and that place to at least start off if they're unsure.
I love that because I know that's how a lot of people get jobs in politics. Sometimes the resumes, they don't even post the job description for the types of roles there are. So getting mentors and people who, can help connect you is so great. Do you remember how you got your start on the Hill? Or sorry, not the Hill.
In the Capitol.
The Texas Capitol.
Yes, I had someone who recommended me to someone else. And that's how it goes. Relationships are a part of our business. But what I think is so special about Pink Granite is that it can kind of cut through that. It can help you get there a little quicker in a way that you don't have to use someone to take a chance on you. For instance, one of my favorite stories about Pink Granite is I had a woman who was moving in from out of state, Googled places around Texas Capitol, found us, reached out to me on LinkedIn, complete cold call, and said, I don't know where to start. What do? I want a job in Texas politics. Told her to come to Pink Granite, come to an event. And I think after her second event with us, she had a job offer.
That's awesome.
In the governor's office, and a great place to be.
Amazing.
And I think back on how that probably wouldn't have been possible before Pink Granite existed.
I love that so much. So many people I find in this space, I get so much value from events, friendships, there's business connections, there's so much that you can get from events. But from a young age too, when I got my start on the Hill, I went to an Alabama State Society event.
Yes.
And I just really connected with one of the girls there. I was like, oh, I like your dress. And we got chatting. And then they were like, hey, we're looking for a staff assistant, actually. And it was Congressman Jody Arrington when he was a freshman. And he's only, a month in. And I said, actually, that'd be really fun. And I want to be in a Texas office. That's perfect. How crazy. And so, yeah, you just never know who you're going to meet. And
you never know.
That's awesome.
And then we also help with professional development, too. So once you're here, what do you need to learn? How do you want to get to that next step? Some things that maybe you just have learned through osmosis in your career, we're providing access to. So whether that's education around the budget process or house rules, or how any of this works, to we've done professional headshots for women, making sure that they know how to use their LinkedIn profile.
Yeah.
Some of these basics that sometimes we're just not taught.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Especially with LinkedIn. That's such a resource now. I mean, amazing. I love LinkedIn for so many reasons. But yeah, you can stay connected that way and help others. So many people have reached out to me lately about jobs and things. So I'll talk to you about that offline too. I've got some candidates for you.
Great. Well, we do also have a job bank. So If you are a member, or if you're looking, or if you want to hire a Texas woman, we have a spot on our website. Give us your name and resume. We'll make sure that it's circulated.
I actually didn't know that. So that's awesome. I will definitely connect y'all. You definitely sent kind of focus on being nonpartisan. And I love that you do that. Have you noticed, we're in Texas. What I've noticed is it is a lot more nonpartisan than people would think. Can you share just to why you started it like that and the reason behind it?
Thank you so much for this question, Laura.
Sure.
I think it's so important to talk about in a time where maybe people are feeling a little bit more divided, but lose sight of the fact that everyone who's involved in Texas politics has gotten involved because they care deeply about making the world a better place, making the state a better place. And I think working across party lines also often leads to better and creative solutions. So what I'm proud of Pink Granite doing is kind of takes away some of these stereotypes. Women pitting against women, that doesn't exist in our space. This is a space where no matter what your party is, no matter what your background is, no matter what your title is, come join. There are people here for you. This is a place to support you, no matter who you are. As long as you're a woman in Texas politics, we have your back.
I love that. And are you planning to come down more for these events? How are you going to, you've got your relationship with Texas still. Are you going to be visiting a lot?
I will always have a relationship with Texas. You really can't get rid of me, Laura.
Love it. Yeah, you're from Dallas.
I'm originally from McKinney.
I love it when you say McKinney too. Specific. So going beyond kind of the party, what other events are you doing?
Well, our next one coming up, I think, is with you, Laura.
It is. I was going to talk about that too. I'm very excited.
So October 16th, we're having a coordinated event, our fall networking event, USLege. So make sure to follow up and come to that. It's open to everybody, not just our members. While we do have member-only events, we have several throughout the year that anyone can come to. The last one of the year will be December 19th, our Trail of Lights end-of-year party. Amazing. So we would love to see you there, celebrate the holidays.
Okay, yes, that was really fun last year.
It's great to get everybody together in the holiday spirit.
Absolutely. We're doing pumpkin painting at the 16th.
Great.
So you saw outside, we're going to get a bunch of tables, hundreds of pumpkins.
Love that.
And I'm so excited. I know we were thinking pumpkin carving and thought that's going to be
a little
an absolute mess. But we'll get a lot of the white pumpkins that we can just paint however, but we're actually going to go get some tomorrow. I'm extremely excited.
Well, please make at least one of them pink.
We have to I'll make one pink for sure. I will definitely go and do that. So you were talking about a lot of this, events are how you can connect people and get people friendships. That's how they can also connect for work. But let's talk more about the mentorship program you offer, because I know there's a lot of people who are curious and would like to get involved either as a mentor or a mentee. So can you just talk about how you run that and how it works?
Absolutely. So the Pink Granite Foundation mentorship program, say that 5 times fast, is a year-long program where we pair anywhere between 15 and 20 women on average. We have open applications in the summer for both mentees and mentors. So we want to make sure that we're learning as much as we can about each in terms of where they want to grow, what they want to give back as, so we can pair as perfectly as we can for growth potential. At the kickoff party, you might not know who your pairing is yet. So you get to come, meet all the other fellow mentees and all the mentors, and have a real community in these cohorts of mentorship and learning. There are 2 different programs you can apply to. The Build cohort, which is for women who are a little more early in their career or haven't even started their career, but are looking to get that foot in the door. And then the Beyond cohort are for women who maybe have been working in and around Texas politics for a while, but are looking to either transition jobs or really are looking for a mentor to help support them in their goals. Once they are selected into one of the cohorts, we have curriculums for each that are designed to help you, depending on where you are at your career. You'll meet with your mentor once a month, usually for around an hour. We encourage in person, but we have people all over the state, so virtual sometimes is the only option. And the curriculum is a loose guideline, but it's there to help and really foster that connection between the mentee and the mentor. We'll have a mid-year kind of fun event to make sure everyone is still getting to know each other. And then the wrap up usually is at our annual party where we have a Mentor of the Year award.
Awesome. And that's tonight as well?
That'll be tonight.
Okay. So this has been the first year of this program?
We have been in existence almost the whole time. So this is our 5th cohort of mentees. And we have served over 100 pairings so far.
Wow. Mm-hmm. And what are you finding the specific, well, both groups, the Build group and then the Beyond group, what kinds of questions are they mostly asking the mentors? You know, what are they looking for advice typically?
It completely varies. It depends on where they want to go. If someone is starting out in their career and they want to learn how to become a policy expert,
sure,
that's going to have a certain type of support needed versus maybe a veteran who has been working in the Capitol for a decade and would like to make the jump out or wants a higher leadership role. It really is tailored to help you where you are in your career and help you get to that next level.
And what advice do you give the most? To say there's, you know, somewhat aspiring young woman who's really excited to get in politics, doesn't know where to begin. What would you say to her?
I have a couple of things. Okay. So if I say too many, tell me.
Say as many as you like.
I would always start with rank what you care about. Is it pay? Is it an issue area that you care about? Is it a chamber? Sometimes it can feel so overwhelming because that dream job maybe doesn't feel like it exists, but you can get close. And if you can rank and get maybe the top 2 things that you didn't even know necessarily were the top 2 things you wanted out of a job, you'll have a lot more clarity on how you want to grow. Also, be nice to everybody. You should be just as nice to the scheduler as you are to the chief of staff. You never know where people are going to end up. And you want to be the type of person that everyone can turn to, whether that's as a resource, as a friend, as just a colleague. It's also important to learn how to say, I don't know gracefully. There's nothing worse than saying that you know something when you don't.
Oh.
It's much better to say, I will get back to you with that. I wish I had known that as a unsure of herself young staffer. And I think you can go a lot farther if you're just honest, kind, yourself, and hardworking.
Great advice. I actually gave a very similar piece this morning to one of our teammates. He said, what do you do, you know, to make sure people know that you know all about the, you know, the product and all of that. And sometimes I don't know the answers to some technical questions. And I said, that's okay. It's so much better to say, let me find out for you the right person. Because I said, you're not a tech expert. It's not why we hired you. You're the account manager. So I was like, this is a great opportunity to just say, let me find out. I don't know. But if you say, I might know, or yes, guess it, it makes you look silly. And I said, I've learned from personal experience because I have done it myself, trying to say yes too much, or yes, I know how to do this, or yes, I know the answer when.
Well, no one's an expert in everything, truly.
Right.
Truly. And so it's very humanizing to say, I'm happy to get back to you with that.
Absolutely. I think people trust it more too. They're like, okay, they can tell me that, and that's totally fine. Mm-hmm. How do you think Pink Granite best fosters a community for everybody? You're saying so many people came not knowing anyone. I felt that way too, moving to Texas from DC. I know Amy, so like how do you feel that you all do that?
What I find special about Pink Granite is that everyone comes together with the singular common interest of being there to meet and support other women. Mm-hmm. There's nothing else that you're going to get out of our community except learning, growth, and support. So there are also a lot of people you might not have had access to or would see on the regular otherwise. We have legislators that are members, former legislators that are members. We have high-powered lobbyists. We have schedulers. We have people of all walks of life that you all have something to learn from. That's what I find very special about the community, and I'm so pleased. We've grown to be over 250 members already.
Congrats.
Thank you. But my dream is that every woman who works in and around the Texas Capitol is a member, and that we're all here to support each other.
Looking kind of bigger picture, why do you think this matters in getting these women together and helping mentor these women for just the future of politics in general?
So Laura, Texas politicians are only 27% women, and we're 50% of the population. I would love to see that gap close. I think whatever that looks like, leadership for women, it doesn't just have to be being a politician. It can be being a leader of your agency. It can be a leader of your office. Even if you're the lowest level, there's so many ways that you can show up as a leader and contribute and be that example for the next generation that are looking for role models in government. So I just believe that having the example, having the potential for growth, having these professional development seminars that we offer, the mentorship that we offer, the community that we offer, hopefully it will just continue to contribute to a culture of learning and growth for women.
Are you or have you ever done any candidate training or recruiting? Has that ever been on your radar?
No, it's not. We are here for everybody. So we don't ever want to be involved in you actually running for office. But if you do and want to be a member, come on in.
Cool. And that, I'm sure, that's always so fascinating to hear from, I had a female boss in the Senate, and like hearing why they got in and what their journey was. It's always very fascinating. And I know you have some members, like you mentioned, that are legislators and can give that advice. What barriers do you think women have right now, and why that gap isn't closed and it's not 50-50?
Women tend to be the team player, and they're thinking about each other a little bit more. And what we would love to encourage is, while being the team player is great, and studies have shown that women in groups mean better creative and better compromises, we also want them to feel like they can be that leader. I remember mentoring a young woman who's now a chief of staff in the House. She was interested in maybe being an LD. She's talking to me about her experience in the Senate. She felt like, maybe she needed another session or two before she could be a chief. And I told her, you could do that now. What are you waiting for? You have the skills. You have the experience. Your resume is on par with everyone else at this level. You don't have to do more to do this job. She got a chief job that next session.
That's amazing.
But sometimes we need that encouragement. And I think it's important to have a community that helps you keep an eye on those goals and helps you build the skills you need if you aren't ready to be that next level yet, or tells you that it's time and you've got this.
That's great advice. Well, seeing other women in these roles as well is always really, I think, inspirational and helpful to see. My last question for you, though, is looking ahead, what role do you see Pink Granite playing in the next generation of women in politics in general?
So, as I mentioned, we've only been in existence for 5 years, and we have 250 members. I'd like to see us continue to grow. But also I want to reflect and say, seeing the women who've been involved, their growth, the things that have changed, the ways that we have all come together has been so inspiring. So I would love to see more people involved. There are 2 types of membership. So a regular year-long membership. But for those of you listening who think, I don't have time to quite get involved, or I don't know what my level of involvement could be. If you're a man who just supports supports women in Texas politics, or maybe out of state and really like to see what we're doing, you can be a friend of Pink Granite. So there's also a membership level for you.
I have to tell Eric.
Yes.
That's great.
So yeah, we've got a lot of great things on the horizon. We're going to continue to provide this mentorship program. Love to talk to you about it if you are at all interested in applying. Our next cohort application will open summer 2026. And if you're interested in being a mentor, also please reach out. We'd love to have you involved.
Wonderful. So in summary, why should somebody join Pink Granite?
I'm going to steal a quote from the Honorable Susan Combs, one of our first mentors involved in Pink Granite, who said, Pink Granite holds the keys to various doors. So I like to think joining us not only will provide a community of like-minded women who care about Texas politics, that are there to support you, that want to see you grow, but will open doors that you might not have thought about, and will provide resources that you didn't even know you needed. So come learn with us, come hang out with us, come be a mentor or a mentee.
Great quote. That's not stealing at all. That's awesome. Well, any way that people can connect with you specifically, as well as the group, feel free to shout out the socials and handles.
Perfect. At Pink Granite, I think. We'll have to double check that.
Awesome. Yes, you're on all the socials, I think. I'm following you on. But thank you so much for your time today. I know
course.
everybody's very happy to have you as a great mentor and leader in Texas. And congrats on everything you're doing and your work with Pink Granite. So I'm excited for the party.
You're beyond kind. Thank you for having me, Laura.
Thank you.